Welcome to Monday at the Hill. I am Pastor Justin. We got Matt Daly here.
That's
Matt, what is your title? For people that may not know Matt Daly, what is your role here at the church?
I am the junior high director here.
And he does a great job with junior high.
Thank you.
We meet first and third Sunday of the month.
That's right.
And this is not even really what we're talking about. What's junior high even doing? Let's just start off with this. How's junior high going?
Junior high they're on fire. These kids are on fire, right? We're seeing that throughout the whole Next Gen ministry right now. Junior high, like you say, is the first and third Sunday of every month. And we actually just wrapped up our first series, which is the Warrior series, which we went through all of the armor of God. And we just finished that up. We have some good things, some fun things coming up for the next series. So we're excited for that.
And for those who don't know, junior high is a newer ministry that is sort of a branch underneath the youth ministry.
Correct.
And we just had something very exciting happen.
Yeah, we did.
Recently, which was youth conference.
The Revive Youth Conference of Northern New England.
We had over 260 people sign up from all over the district, including leaders. And it was a great weekend. It was a powerful weekend.
It was powerful. Yeah, it was. Anytime you have 200 or so kids just on fire for the Lord, and the second the lights drop and the mics get picked up and they rush to the stage to just praise God and stuff, it's powerful.
It's so cool to see that it's just part of the culture of that age group. They don't wait for us. We don't manufacture
There's no invitation.
There's no invitation. They just automatically go up to be ready to get into it. And we were so proud of our students because our students were like leading the way.
They were.
Right? There's some other students at some other churches that were obviously pressing in hard, but our students were up there. They were praying for each other. They were just pressing in. Again, and we don't coach them on this, but we've been trying to really build that culture within the youth group of, hey, like press in when we open up the altar. Like come ask us for prayer. Go pray for each other.
Yeah, and I think that's been one of the huge new additions to youth on Thursday nights is live worship. So these kids are getting used to just pressing in during live worship because, listen, worship's worship. They need to learn that as well, right? But live worship on a Thursday night has just helped our students just really press in and really just lay it at the altar.
There's something about, and of course, there's no wrong way to worship per se when you're pressing in, but there's something about when you get active and you get like loud and you just press in and you're just
It's the joy of the Lord.
It's the joy of the Lord. Like when David danced hard before God, he didn't care what other people were thinking. And that was what this weekend and youth camp, youth conference, they're both very similar like that. The students don't necessarily care what's to the left or to the right of them. They're pressing in, they're just going hard. And it should be fun, right?
And that should be a Sunday thing too, right? It's not just a youth conference stuff. And it carried over, and we saw that in this Sunday service.
We did.
The kids were full of joy.
I had parents, not even parents, just churchgoers that go to our church that message me saying, hey, can like adult service be like this? And I'm like, absolutely. Like I would love to see the adults just getting into it up at the altar.
Yeah, I think Carla said it best when she was on worship on Sunday. She's like, don't let the enemy sit on your lap.
Yeah.
Like have joy in your worship. Dance like David. Don't worry about what's going on around you. If people are hearing you sing. Listen, there's some loud singers in our church, but man, the joy is in them, and I absolutely love seeing that.
And that honors God, and it glorifies
100%.
God, right? It's different
100%.
when it's like, oh, look what I'm doing. Yeah, look how hard I'm pressing in. But
when the camera guy's coming around, let me throw my arms up and start doing that. You know, shout out to Scott with the cameras. But man, that can happen. That can be prideful too.
Yeah, absolutely. But that wasn't what it was at youth conference.
It was genuine.
It was so genuine. And again, our kids did so good. We had Sam Henry give a word.
Yeah, so man, he exhorted. I was so proud of him. That was powerful. There wasn't a dry eye in the house when he did that, and God used them. And the first thing he said was, I have something from God, and I'm not afraid anymore. That was so powerful. The second he said that, I'm trying to film him. Second he said, and I'm not afraid anymore, tears just started flowing down my face because this is what's happening in this next generation, right? The next wave of kids are coming in, and they are fighting back against the enemy, and they are no longer afraid.
Yeah.
And that's so powerful.
This next generation, God's doing something great. They're coming to the Lord. Like you said, it literally is in waves. They really are. They're coming more than any other generation in recent history. They're on fire. More young adult men, more teen men are giving their lives to the Lord right now. And you're going to see the impact of this in the next 10 to 15 years, 100%. As they get into adulthood, being fathers themselves, you're going to see such a wave of families coming to church. We need to be ready, in all honesty. We need to be ready.
We need to prepare ourselves for sure. And another great thing from the conference was we had Pastor Alex Fortson from Youth Alive Ministries. He just moved from Alabama to Maine. Talk about a change there. But he is, what is it, Youth Alive Ministries, right?
Yep.
And he brought the word on Saturday, I believe it was.
The last day.
And he called out these kids like, hey, it's time to start campus ministries at your school. It's time to spread the gospel. And he had 68 kids take that calling.
And we had about 4 from our church.
Yeah. And this is big, guys, because this is we're going out. These kids are being sent out in the world, right? Just as disciples were sent out. God's calling them to be out there, to be the light, to not be judged because you were young, just like it says in 1 Timothy, right? Yeah. And these kids took the calling, and that was also very powerful. And you first think like, oh, maybe 10 kids will take the call and stuff like that. But 68 kids walked up with their information and be like, send me. Yeah. Send me. I'm ready.
Yeah. I mean, they're seeing so much happen. Obviously stuff with Charlie Kirk, and they're seeing all these things play out, and they're getting bolder in their faith, and they're saying, hey, I want to make a difference. And that's what's special about this age group is they are like, they love standing up for a cause that they believe in. They do. They're not afraid.
Yeah, because they've been told so long to sit down and be quiet, right? And now that this culture right now, that what God's calling to, it's becoming more fruitful, and they know the Lord is calling them now. It's not when you're in adulthood.
We have students that between youth camp and we'll get into this in a second, youth camp, they feel a call for their life, whether it's missions, whether it's maybe entrepreneurship. There's kids even from our own church that have felt God calling them to something. And so something that because Matt and I both spoke at the breakout sessions during this conference, Matt had a really cool thing that God put on his heart to do. And I think it's one of the ways that we're going to be able to build up this next generation. So Matt, explain what God had put on your heart.
Yeah, so I shared my testimony, my personal testimony, but and it was called Chameleon to CEO, because when in my past life, before I knew Christ, I was a chameleon. I could adapt to any crowd, any situation, that stuff. So I shared. It
was originally Bullets to Bible, but
Bullets to Bible. Yeah, how I was in a gang and lived that life to where I am right now, where God completely transformed my life into being the CEO of a company right now. Right. So
successful.
I pressed in and I challenged the kids like, hey, listen, the world is telling you you're too young. The Lord tells you you're not too young. If you have a calling on your life to start a business, you want to be an entrepreneur. I called them out and I said, hey, listen, I want your information and I'm going to personally mentor you through this, and let's get more kingdom-minded entrepreneurs for the kingdom, and let's just lock in right now and see what we can do to help them out. So I'm very excited to dive into that. Just started reaching out to other youth pastors and parents to get their permission, and it's going to be awesome.
Kids couldn't fill out those slips fast enough. How many did you have total?
I had 10 kids sign up total.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is a great outcome. I wasn't even expecting that many. Right?
We had
entrepreneurs, kids that want to be entrepreneurs at their age. I had anyone from 12 years old to 18 years old filling these cards out.
Matt had like 100 kids in his breakout session in the kids' church room upstairs, and so there was a lot. We were on top of
Glory to God.
There were kids sitting in the hallway wanting to listen. He would have had more, but people saw how packed it was. So God did something really special with that breakout.
It was awesome. It was very powerful for sure.
Yep. And I mean, some of the other takeaways from just this conference, I think for me, just the amount of students we had sign up. We had almost 50 of our own between leaders and students sign up for this thing. We had a 25% increase overall with the conference. And Tower Hill is looking to host this thing every year. We're going to partner with the district.
So good.
Keep it consistent. Keep it relatively that same weekend. Really have the consistency. People enjoy it. When they announced that at church on that last Saturday, everyone was excited. Everyone cheered for that. I had students come up to me saying, oh, we can't wait to be back here next year. People love coming to our church. And when I spoke after the first session, not during, but after, I really wanted to highlight, because it's so true. God has blessed us as a church to be able to use this building for these types of things.
Absolutely.
Right? Like we recognize that God has blessed us through our missions giving, how much of a giving church we are, but to turn around and now be able to pour in and use this as an avenue for other people. We had paintball this year, which was cool. We had over 60 students sign up for that. That was a hit.
That was a big hit.
We won basketball by default.
We did.
No other
We're going
church
to nationals,
signed up. We're
baby.
going to nationals for the 3-on-3 basketball tournament. We won. We
so proud of those boys.
We didn't have to dribble the ball at all. We won without stepping on the court. So
all the other churches were fearful.
Proud. They were so fearful.
Yeah.
They knew.
Come on.
Come on. come on, it's Tower Hill. So I'm happy about that. I got the competitive side of me that's like, all right, let's go.
I love it.
I would have liked to have seen them destroy some of the other churches, but you know what? It's fine. We'll see about it in nationals and go from 100%. There. We had Ben Hull, who is our very own, who spoke at nationals. He spoke on Youth Takeover Day.
Yep.
And he also shared his sermon again that particular weekend, which was just, again, really cool to highlight what God's doing in the youth in this area, but just within Tower Hill and the shift that is taking place. We just had Friendsgiving also to celebrate the time of the year.
Almost 60 of us there.
Yep.
Awesome.
We had more again, just so many students. We had more leaders. We had new students show up for the first time. So God is doing something really, really special within our church overall and within the youth group. And it's
these kids are tired of fluff. They don't
want it.
Tired of just coming to things and just playing games and stuff like that. They are hungry for the Word of God, and they want God to move in their life. They want to see what His will is, so they're willing to have that transformation of their mind. And it's just such an honor and blessing for even us to just be a part of what God is doing here, because it's so overwhelmingly awesome how good our God is.
And it's translating into the Sunday service.
Yeah,
we're seeing students pray for each other up at the service, or being available,
or
to
even
pray
going
for other
up.
people, or just going
up, because these kids are for so long they felt like, oh, Sunday service, altar time is for the adults, right? But again, it's just that transformation of their mind, just understanding God's plan for them, His will for them. They are pressing in so hard right now.
Yeah. It's amazing.
And it's a big responsibility that we're taking on, right? To be used by God to pour into these students, and I wouldn't change it for anything.
Well, and the thing is, they're coming up to the altar and telling us stuff. But they're coming up to the altar and telling us stuff. So there's times when you're praying, God, how do I minister right now? Like, how do I navigate this? Because they're struggling with stuff, or they're going through life, or whatever it is, X, Y, or Z, and you're trying to be used by God in that moment, going, God, help me to talk to this student right now. What do I say?
Sometimes these kids talk and they leave it at the altar, and they're asking for prayer. And knowing my testimony, being in a gang, selling drugs, all that stuff, I'm like, man, these kids are going through it. These kids have a much harder time with their identity, their purpose. Every tactic from the enemy right now is so much stronger now than it was when I was growing up.
Oh yeah, social media, just access to the internet has really changed the game.
Yeah.
And that's caused depression. That's caused, comparison through social media.
Yeah.
Just so much. What's supposed to be the most interconnected generations are the most depressed. They're the most anxious. They're the most all of these things. And it's something that God is working through also, which is neat. Because like what you said, Sam coming up and going, I'm not afraid anymore.
Not afraid.
Right?
Powerful.
He's going hard with evangelism, which is one of our initiatives is evangelism. And he's going hard with that and talking to people. And we have guys like Aiden who have come out of their shell. And, he's one of our prayer guys right now. Hey, who wants to pray us in? I'll do it. I'm going to pray. Like, it's great to see these students just really taking on our faith, and it's translating into these events. And again, they're leading the charge at youth conference.
Love it.
For comparison, a year ago, that wasn't the case. They were staying in their seats. They were like not having anything with it. And in just a short period of time, they're the ones up there. They're the one pressing in. And it's just awesome.
It's so cool to see. God is moving.
What was your takeaway? Was there anything else that you took away from youth conference?
Man, I mean, I think, if I could share a personal story, there's a student that I had in junior high that I wasn't sure he was enjoying it. He would sit there, kind of arms crossed, and just sit there. And I was like, man, I just feel like the student isn't taking it in, or not really enjoying it, or parents are pressuring him to be here and stuff like that. But he showed up for youth conference, and he came up to me. He's like, hey, you've been changing my life. And I was like, what? I'm like, what? I always thought you hated being here and stuff, right? So the encouragement that I had was when you have that student that's just sitting there, not participating, right? My prayer was always, man, I hope he has a softened heart, open his mind, softened heart. But it was really God being like, you need to soften your heart to these students, because they are listening. They are paying attention. And though they're not participating so much, there's a change and shift in their mindset as well. And it was just a really good reminder to me to be like, all right, I have to have that softened heart, because this is still making an impact for every student that's a part of it. So I think that was a huge takeaway for me. The kids just coming up to me and just sharing like how my testimony like impacted them and stuff like that.
Because you didn't even know.
No idea. And it's like all glory to God with all that stuff. And it's just like, man, he put me through the ringer, and it's empowering these kids now, which is it's just phenomenal to see. It was a really good, impactful thing for God just showing me like I'm called to this. Like you're walking in my path right now, my will for you right now, and it's making an impact for the kingdom. And I just couldn't be happier.
Yeah, I mean, the theme of the conference was wild and free.
Yeah.
But what was really cool is Pastor Travis, who's our district youth director, he went up there, and even on the first night felt that was the planned theme, but God had a different theme. And it was really about refocusing and reshifting and recentering upon God, upon the Holy Spirit, just setting our eyes upon Him. Because that was what you saw throughout every single session.
Yeah.
Is the kids just pressing in and really refocusing. And it was really cool to see God just do what He wanted to do during it.
Yeah.
You know, we can have our plans through prayer, right? Travis prays about these things, his team prays about these things. But to see what God did throughout this weekend was great.
And Tower Hill worship team crushed
Tower Hill
it.
worship team was amazing. They were coming off the platform dancing and singing with us, which was really cool.
Crushed it.
They love it. It's a great weekend. It's a long weekend, a lot of preparation, but our worship team just did so good again. Carla and the team, phenomenal job.
Yeah, let's do it again next year.
Yeah, I mean,
let's keep going.
And that's the thing. Every year we're gonna be hosting this. So parents, like, have this on your radar now. We don't even have a registration yet, but when it gets to be September, October, August, when we start promoting this, like, sign them up.
Yeah.
Sign them up, because we had so many parents that wanted their kids to attend last second, which is fine. We want them to come.
Yep.
Just sign up ahead of time.
Yeah.
Get them there that whole weekend. It's worth them missing one day of school on that Friday if they're in public school for them to come to this conference.
Absolutely. My kids did. Impactful.
It's super impactful. God, would you rather them do that and be in a spirit-filled place, they're pressing into God, than just a normal other day off, another normal holiday where they're playing video games? Make it, God will honor it.
Yeah,
right? So
100%.
Get them here. We want as many students to come. We just don't want the last second asks.
Yes.
So
make it easy on us too.
It makes it harder on us in the district. So just don't even procrastinate. And here's the thing. We, because of our fundraising, took care of all of the tickets.
Yeah.
No student had to pay for
God.
anything this year. Because of our hard work with fundraising, we provided everything for this conference. And so, again, as we continue to fundraise, and as we go into next year, I would ideally love to do that. So that way it doesn't cost you anything. We host it. You don't have to pay for travel. You don't have, as the host church, you don't have to do anything other than get your kids here.
Yep.
And even then, we help with that.
Yeah, if you have trouble getting your kids here, just let us know. We'll figure it out.
Keep it on your radar.
We'll figure it out.
All right. When it comes next summer, keep this stuff on your radar. But otherwise, we'll go from
Bingo.
there. So we thank you so much for joining us here at Monday at the Hill. Love you. Be blessed.
God bless.